All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chance Welton, speaker, author, entrepreneur from abundance.io. What's going on, man?
I'm good, brother. Good to see you.
Good to
How you
see you.
been?
You're in like a little man cave. You've got the kind of the Buddha vibes in the background, TP.
Yeah. Yeah, up at the cabin in Idaho, super remote on the lake. Just you got to decompress from the city every once in a while and just get back with nature. So that's what we're
Yeah,
doing for 2 months right now. Yeah.
I love it, man. So we've known each other for about a year now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It would be, yeah. Cause I remember you got me going on the IG challenge and interviewing people every day. Cause I was like, hey, I want to do a podcast. I want to be on TV. I want to do X, Y, Z. And you're like, well, why don't you just start out by going live on your Instagram every day? And it just got that muscle working of like getting me into
Yeah.
promote mode, which was, led into so many other things after that, where you're like, okay, now you're ready. Now let's get you on the David Meltzer show. Now let's keep, working that muscle. And it, yeah, really gave me the permission to get out there and,
Right.
have that shameless self promotion. But we all need that like,
Mm,
permission to do it, I guess you could
right.
say.
Well, just tell the viewers really quickly, like, what you do, and then also where were you before kind of doing stuff with me? Like, why did you kind of want to work with me to get yourself out there?
Absolutely. So we run a company called abundance.io. We've taught over 35,000 people how to start their first online business in 4 different verticals. And I finally got in a position where I hired a great CEO that allowed me to be in the position to go out and promote, but I didn't quite know where to start. There's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of different
Right.
channels you can be on. It's like, do I start a podcast? Do I get on a TV show? Do I go speak? And you helped me really understand like that really the strategic play was like, no, go for a big show first, and you'll have that platform, you'll have that network to where then you can have a little bit of leverage to start the podcast, to get somebody to write the forward for your book that has a good name. Like you got to start somewhere, but you're strategic in helping me find that right platform to be on. Because with the David Meltzer show, that's my whole network. Like I've made, I don't know, 50 really amazing connections coming off of that is allowing us to do some big JV deals. Like me and Gina are working together. We're going to do AI behind her whole platform. And it really all came from, that first initial push from you of like, hey man, this is how you go about doing it. Like you have a great mission. You're a great person. Like people need to know about you and what you're doing. And it's like, it's really
Yeah.
time to lean into that personal brand. And then sure enough, after that episode, podcast came out, have had 16 episodes come out with all like, top end, just rad entrepreneurs that then we're all creating JV partnerships together on the backside of that. And it is a bit scary to get out there and start building your personal brand. You feel like that imposter syndrome a little bit of like, oh, now I'm really getting out there and talking about what we do and, what we've built. And it's kind of terrifying, but you like gave me that permission to be like, no, man, you have a great heart. You have a great business. You need to get out there and share it because people need to hear what you're up to. So yeah, man, it's been super transformational. And, under a year, I've created a super successful podcast and have also, really built out the personal brand alongside abundance.io. So it's been a lot of fun, JJ.
Well, that's really because you made the decision to invest a larger amount of money up front. Because just so we're clear, so everyone knows the problem, and tell me if I'm wrong, the problem that you had is, okay, I've got the time, I've got to get out there. What is the right kind of vehicle to use? Do I do everything? Do I do this? Do I do that? And I'm like, hey, for where you're trying to go to kind of jump the line, as I call it, spend a lot more money, but now you'll get basically, as I call it, in the VIP club faster instead of going the slow way. Because I want everybody to understand that. Like, there's a lot of different angles to get there, but you didn't want to do the 15 TikToks a day. I'm exaggerating, right? You don't want to do the terrible press articles. You didn't want to do that stuff that everyone does. I'm like, listen, Chance, we should focus on this. It's more of a jump. It's more of an investment. But because you invested that money, you got straight to the top, which now is giving you all the return, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man. And, it's really having that direction because like, you don't know what you don't know. And you're an expert in PR and, brand development, personal brand development. And it just kind of gave me a lane to really focus on. Cause like I said, there's so much noise out there and you just knew, hey, especially by you starting here, it's going to allow you to be 1 degree off from the Ed Milet or the Jay Shetty or the this guy or the that guy, because they all kind of run in the same circle. So it was a strategic way that we played it. And yeah, I mean, it's just and it just continues to build on itself, right? And then you see somebody like David that's working with somebody I want to get in touch with, and then I, text him, yo, Dave, can you introduce me to so and so? Absolutely. Boom. Now they're on the podcast. Now we're doing a deal together, and it just becomes a snowball effect. So
would you say that decision that you made to invest in yourself, obviously there's no financial number yet, but give people an idea, like that one decision that you made, how many connections do you think you made? And then how much money do you think you'll make over the next few years by doing that?
yeah, I mean, and invested, a good couple of 5 figures to like really get this thing going. And I mean, it's creating, multi-million dollar deals that will play out over the next couple of years. Absolutely.
So what would you say to people who are on the fence right now? Chance, I don't know, man, like I'm making money. Jay's good, but like, do I do this? Do I just play it safe? Like, why should they invest in their brand? Why should they work with me?
I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years, and I just started my PR like less than a year ago. And it's the biggest regret of my professional career. As soon as you start making money, as soon as you start to become an expert in your niche, like you got to start doubling down on your personal brand, because you got to build trust out on all these other platforms. Because for us, when people are going out and researching me, and that I didn't have, these big articles out there, I wasn't on these TV shows, I didn't have a podcast, I didn't have all these things. Like I didn't realize how many sales I was losing because I wasn't out there being open, forward facing to the public. So they didn't know me, so they didn't trust me. So the more you get out there, the more you really present yourself, it's like the more sales you're going to make anyways, and your business will grow.
Love it, man. Final thing for you. Obviously there's a lot of people to work with. What was I like to work with? I know we get along, but tell the people.
Wait, say that again. You kind of broke out there for a second.
What was I like to work with? Obviously, there's a lot of people you can work with. There's a lot of people that are publicists or personal brand people, or just like strategic coaches. Like, why me? Why not anyone else?
Well, I mean, from the very first conversation we had, you really showed me like what was possible, and I needed really guidance there. And then you just became a friend. It's like when I came to see you in Miami, you flew out to Vegas to see me for the show. It's like we just became friends. You knew the best restaurants to go to, you knew the best shows to go to, and you're like, we're going to have fun. We're going to talk about business. We're going to do all the things. And it was really just like you became a brother and a friend, where we were able to, grow something great, and we will continue to do that, but also just made great friends right out of the gate. So,
Man, Chance, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, JJ.